All right, hello, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, we are going to be looking over the top plays of the playoffs in the past week. We're not going to be looking at discussion posts. We're literally going to be looking at plays. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting for some of you who haven't seen these plays. For some of you that have seen these plays, maybe you're cheering for your favorite team and they happen against your team. Or maybe you're cheering for your team and they happen because your team made that play happen. You're going to be feeling some type of way. All right, first play in review here. I did remove my face so we can just look at the plays and just react, or, you know, in this case, how do you react to this? Unreal. Unreal shot. I mean, the bench pretty much describes it perfectly. I mean, this is one of those shots that is just like, what? This is a 2K shot. This is a shot you shoot with your 99 overall 3-point player. You got some Hall of Fame / legendary badges, because that's a new thing in this 2K. And just pull up. Wow. Fade away. Wow. Bucket. Wow. Okay, I'm going to have the audio turned up for this one because it's kind of important into what's going on. Am I going to get copyrighted? I hope not. Okay, to provide some context as to what was happening, JJ Reddit cussing out everyone, timeout, what the hell is going on, timeout, Jesus Christ, the hell are you guys doing, come on. Also, if you're noticing, I'm trying not to cuss, I'm trying to get better at it. I feel like I say it every 50 videos, like once in every 50 videos where I say it, and then I go back to my ways, but I'm really trying. Anyway, you can see it right away. JJ's fired up. Lakers, after this timeout where JJ loses his bandanas, they go on a 7-0 run. So, okay, another one where we have to have the audio up. Not necessarily a play, but post of a play. Post play, is that something I could say? Anyway, right after a play where Jason Tatum gets hurt, and this is the play in which he, I believe, had a bone bruise. They obviously didn't know it at the time. Joe Mazzulla is telling his player to get up.
Officials will obviously look at that.
So we can see the athletic trainer here. He's like, no, don't get him. You know, athletic trainer's ready to go. Joe Mazzulla's like, no, we're not doing this. JT, get up. If you watch the Celtics game, of game 2 versus the Magic, when Kristaps Porzingis also got hurt, his head was bloody. You know, post game, Mazzulla talking about it. He's like, you know, paraphrasing here, but basically like, it's good to see him, you know, go out there with some blood on his head, and it's just super, super intense to say the least. But another top play of the playoffs of the past week. You know, again, it's not a play exactly, but you have to include it here. Ironically, you know, this is a top play, but you know, at the same time, the irony here is it didn't matter. Looking at the score of this game 1, Thunder, Grizzlies. Yeah, you know, shout out to Marvin Bagley, went 8 for 8. You know, this helped him preserve his perfect shooting, you know, taking the heave, but my God, did it just not matter? And yes, this is one of the most upvoted. If you're not on Reddit, if you don't want to upvote it, just think of it just like a thumbs up. Okay, I'm starting to feel like these thumbs up videos are not so much top plays, but just moments in time that people find funny. And okay, let's take a quick look into this one. I'm not even gonna have the audio on for this. I don't really think it's necessary, but Jokic just, you know, whatever this is, and you know, gets free throws. This is a foul on Chris Dunn. This is a foul called on Chris Dunn, I should say. But I don't even know what this is. Like, just runs to him, kind of grabs his head, and Chris Dunn's just holding his own, and Jokic is kind of going into him. And I know Chris Dunn's not that strong to be pushing Jokic like that. This is a top upvoted moment, I should say, but that is not a top play by any means. Okay, finally, a very legitimate top play. Also game 1 for the Rockets and Warriors. And yeah, let's check this out. This is very, very cool to see. The reason why is because you don't really see Draymond get postered. Oops, spoiled it if you hadn't seen it. But goddamn, Sengun just boom drops the hammer on Draymond. And I mean the hammer. Sengun does not do this often, and Draymond just doesn't get postered often. But goddamn, that is a hell of a way to set the tone. Game 1. I mean, they lost anyway, but you know, that's kind of not Sengun's fault. More so Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet. But goddamn. Okay, this was game 2 of the Lakers Timberwolves, and we actually do. This is a legitimate top play. You know, I've been saying there's some, you know, kind of what the hell moments, but this is a legitimate top play. Okay, let's check this out. Jaden McDaniels pass to Anthony Edwards, sets the screen, looking like he's gonna pull up. You know, Luka kind of closing in, a little bit lazy here. Austin Reeves is getting screened, but I mean, yeah, this is an open shot. Anyhow, doesn't go up with it, which is unorthodox for Anthony Edwards, considering that he shoots a lot of threes. Anyway, you can see Luka Doncic somehow, some way, just kind of got lost in the sauce trying to get the ball. Leaves a huge open lane to Anthony Edwards. And you got LeBron on the right-hand side of the block, and you got, you know, Jackson Hayes covering the rim, the paint area, if you will. And what happens next is pretty gruesome if you're into basketball. Anyway, Anthony Edwards just bam, holy poster. That is the definition of a poster. You want to sign a poster for a kid of him holding a picture of something? This is that. This is the poster in the room. You know, if they would have won this game, probably would have been a better poster. You know, just because context is, I feel like, kind of important with sometimes. Anyway, it doesn't change. It doesn't change what we just saw. Credit to Jackson Hayes for stepping in, though. You know, I always admire the effort from not even just Jackson Hayes in this particular play, but from people stepping in and saying, you know what, I'm just going to try. I can appreciate that instead of the business decisions that we often see. But damn, this is why there are business decisions. You can't make one there because it's the playoffs and you probably get benched for it. But oh my God. You know, we actually covered this one in the last video, but it's a hugely upvoted clip. I was going to say play, but I feel like, you know, it's the same thing. Anyway, let's just watch. If you guys didn't watch my last video and you're watching this one, no idea what happens here. They called a foul on Oswar on this play. Obviously, this is not a top play, but it's... God damn, it's a super upvoted video. And I'm trying to include these highlights. This isn't a highlight you want to see, though, on best moments of the past week. I mean, I didn't title this video that, but... You know, how I was describing it in the beginning, that's how we'd assume this goes. You know, considering that, you know, popular clips happen. You know, typically popular clips are the coolest. This is not one of them. This is disgusting. That's a foul. Oswald Thompson. Stop. Let's one-on-one. And this is, well, goddamn. Shout out to Gabe Vincent saving his life. Saving his image. Because if... Oh my God, if Gabe Vincent... Oh, what an ankle break. If Gabe Vincent doesn't stop this... Oh my God, that is a highlight of highlights. But not only does Gabe Vincent stop it, they did call a foul originally on Gabe Vincent, but JJ Redick challenged it, and it was a no call. So great defense by Gabe Vincent, but absolutely disgusting handle to break Rui Hachimura, and goddamn were those angles broken. Okay, we have sort of a play, not really. Honestly, no, not really. But what we do have is beef. Beef is live. Damian Lillard, game 1, talking a lot of smack. Tyrese Halliburton, presumably the same thing. You can see Dame's pissed. You know, he's talking. Pat Connaughton's like, hey, bro, we're good. And then Dame says, we gonna see. Gary's getting in there, chiming in a little bit. Tyrese is like, whatever, bro. We're winning game 1. You know what I mean? Gary's still talking. You know, Dame's getting into it. Doc Rivers steps up a little bit like, hey, bro, we're good. I can't mimic his super rough voice, but like, he sounds like a freaking smoker, to say the least. And yeah, you know, Dame's pissed. So not a play, but a highly upvoted clip. Damian Lillard and Tyrese Halliburton argue with each other, says you gonna see many times. Pacers end up winning game 2, and this is game 1. So far we haven't seen what Dame said you gonna see, but you know, give him time. Coming back from that blood clot, going into game 3 will be the second game. Maybe we will see, but right now we haven't yet. So okay, and the beef continues. This is game 2, another highly upvoted clip. Should I take it off 0.5 speed? I'm sorry guys, I really don't want to get copyrighted here, but sure, we could skip it a little bit if it gets a little stale. But you know, beef is live again. Tyrese is right here. You know, he's talking the talk. Dame's talking the talk. Pascal's like kind of just in between it all, not really saying anything, more so looking at Gary Trent, and Gary Trent's talking to the ref and maybe looking at Pascal. It looks like he's looking at Pascal, and you know, Tyrese is out here having a good time. The score is 113 to 118, so Pacers are winning. Of course, you do know who wins the whole thing anyway, which is the Pacers, but beef is live. And is there anything else that's really worth watching in this clip? Maybe. Yeah, says Tyrese, nodding his head in the face of Damian Lillard. Okay, and it looks like he still says yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying. I am not John Boy Media. I do not have the same skill set, but I swear to God he's saying yeah. What else? No, it really looked like he just kept saying yeah. You know, nothing special there. But technicals, boom, right here on Pascal. Yeah, Pascal got teed up. Said something. I don't know what. Said something, but 20 seconds led to this clip. Okay. So Pat Connaughton over here. You know, this is all live for me too. Did I see this in real time? Sure. I didn't see it at 0.5 speed, so kind of seeing stuff I didn't see before. Pat Connaughton, hey, we're good? He says we're good. He says we're good, but he has like the calm down hand signals. We're good. Hey, we're good. All right, Pat. I see you. I can respect that for someone who is not, you know, getting significant minutes. Is he even getting? Where's my phone? I gotta fact check this. I don't recall seeing him on the court. Yeah, no, he's not getting minutes. I was gonna say, yeah, I don't remember seeing him on the court. So no, he's not getting minutes, and you know, for him to say something, you know, good for you, bro. And then Coach Carlisle saying something, and then we're good. Back to normal. But there's the beef that continues, and these are clips that are getting uploaded. A lot of them spicy, juicy, if you will. Sometimes they're really great plays. Other times they are spicy. We'll just say that. But I appreciate you for tuning in to the top clips, top post. I don't know, what do you guys want to call this? Of playoffs week 1. Will we do a week 2? Probably. I always say, let's do another one next week, but it always really just depends on the turnout. Because I really hate this. I'll say, yeah, we'll do part 2 or whatever. And then the part 1 just did so terribly bad. I'm like, I can't do a part 2. And then I leave people hanging that did tune into part 1. So if this even has, you know, a little bit of love, sure, you know, we'll go for a part 2. Ultimately, I just wanted to show off some of the highlights of playoffs week 1. That was my goal here. I feel like I accomplished that. Let me know what you guys think. What were some of your favorite plays? Maybe some plays that you didn't get to see. I just went with the most thumbs up plays. So if I missed one, I apologize. Some of these thumbs up ones, though, were out of pure comedy. Clearly. The Marvin Bagley one, that was rough because it was on there. when it had zero importance, but people were just laughing at the despair of the Grizzlies. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is, actually, before I say this, feel free to like, subscribe. It goes a long way to help the channel. This is I'll Even Different. And we out.